we've got team ID on the team. All right, so that's fine. We've got to make sure it populates again. So I go over to common. Thing is, that might be a mislead because there is an ID, but I don't think we can use the same ID from another object. That would probably be problematic. But I don't think I need the ID in the team details, to be honest. So that actually works pretty good, because if it's already populating it, we should be fine. But this just means we won't be setting it on the ID of the team details, but rather the team ID of the details. Which would probably be better anyway. So yeah, I think we're good. Alright, so we can go and actually have that ID there. We can look at the team details of the we can use the team ID of the team details it's trying to make sure that my records are not going to be screwed up. It's like the data itself is fine, but I don't want, what's going to happen is if I don't have unique IDs on this stuff, is it's going to get kind of screwed up. I don't want to do that. So we have a team ID and a game state, which again, I don't actually have a TPI ID, which I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem. I think I'm going to have to create a prefix for that. And whenever we create a team play info, we'll generate it with that. I just feel like everything should just have an ID. I don't like trying to create concatenated IDs, where a lot of systems will do that, where they'll create concatenated IDs. This value plus this value plus this value creates a unique ID. But it's like in this case, it would be team ID plus game state ID. But you would need one for every play, so you would also need one for, there would also need a third value, which I don't even know what that would be. I don't have anything else. I mean, sometimes they score the points, sometimes they don't. Yeah, it's not got a consistent extra value that's going to change every time. So in that case, I could go with the, yeah, there's really nothing. So I have to have an ID, or that's not gonna, that doesn't have a consistent third value. And that's when things get tricky, is if you don't have a consistent value that changes every time, it won't be unique every time, so you end up having to use an ID. Like this one, the system tried to do this and it was using like route action, but route action can be duplicated every single item in the play log, so you can't do it. To create unique IDs, you need to have something that's going to create a change. Now, truthfully, I could probably have done something like step number plus game state ID plus probably step number plus game state ID probably would work. Because a step number just sorts every object, but there's going to be a different. There can be a step 1 through whatever for every game state. So that could have been a unique value. Because that should be different all the way through. I don't think they'll never replicate step numbers. But that's not true because we have the same step number for players. So we would actually have to have step number plus game state ID plus team player ID. Then we would be able to have a unique. But then it gets complicated again because you're trying to put those IDs together, and it's like it's TPI, GSI, SN. All of those going together, all have their own acronyms, all have their own numbers, and you end up with an ID that's that long, and why not just create an ID? It's like you're not going to ever reference it that way. And it's like, do we need it? I don't think so. It's just too much work. Just better off creating generic unique IDs. So, alright. I think we have what I want. Everything should now be identified. We have IDs. I'm just throwing IDs on all my objects. It's kind of the best way to go, or the easiest way to go. I don't know if there's a better way, but I don't know what it would be. Alright, so we're going to go over not using the quarter time. Oh. I don't really, if we don't use quarter time, but do we need quarter length sets quarter time to these values? Why would quarter length? That must be coming from the game rules, but ID your account. Which quarter? What are the game rules here? So kickoff yards to go, back yards to go. Quarter and quarter time. Quarter length is not equal to 0. What is quarter length? Oh, if we pass it in. So if we pass it in, but where are we getting that value from? Get new game questions. I guess that's if we want to do a shorter quarter length. Rules.quarter time. So I guess we don't need this because we're either going to get a defined quarter length or we decide to shorten a quarter, or we're going to oh, is it? Wait a minute. Wait, are we defining it, setting it, and not using it? Declared and not used. This is weird. Why am I? Oh. No, that's the problem. No, it's because I did just create the initial game state, and I'm not creating the initial game state here because we're going to get a new game session, which doesn't use quarter in the same way. Ah, I see what's going on. Because I got rid of the game state part of the game session creation. I should probably create an initial game state and pass it back with it. That's what I should do. Have it return both parts. Because it's okay to add a game state to my game session, but I'm not keeping them that way. So let's go with this. Let's go edit. We will toggle block on it. Oops. No, toggle it the other way. It's supposed to be untoggling it. Why did you? Alright. What am I doing wrong again? And the reason why I did that. Okay. And there it is. Alright. So I didn't know you could do okay, that's what kind of confused me with, because var means variable or variant, and int32 means integer, so why would I need a variant int32? It doesn't make much sense. So like you're redeclaring it right in the middle of declaring it, so why do I need the var at all? That's why it's throwing me off. That's kind of a weird redundancy there, but alright, whatever. I think it's compiling now, or at least it appears to be. Let's see what the problem is up here. Alright, get new game session. Okay, so this one's going to be a little different, so we're going to have to create what is this? Oh, that's supposed to be fun. Oh, it is. like it was cut off sitting in the back. Okay, so great game response has a state. Oh no, I need that success. I need success, message, and game ID. That's all I need. I don't know what the success option is. Success what? What is the success? What is that saying? Just a setting. Why am I? Is it the success of actually getting it set? Create game. The thing is, I'm getting the game state back, but I'm trying to figure out. I think my create game is supposed to return a state, but it was pulling it from that, so now I need to actually pass it back as part of it. I don't think I'm doing that. Go to the create game response, which would be up here. Create game device, create game response. Sure, let's play game state is in here, right? Yep, let's play game state. Okay, so we'll stick that in there. And we'll close that with that. So now I can pass the game state back with it and still get a valid object. Coach is looking at. Coach still has some issues. How are we doing with simulator? We haven't broke it too bad, have we? Gateways there. Simulators looking. Single little thing from the store. Get new games. Doesn't look like a full function with that. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Multiple value. Oh. this in the store? Are we saving it? If rule. It's kind of a weird place for this to be because this isn't really. Get new game session. Rules is gonna try to make it. See, look, we're doing get rules twice. I don't like that. Because we get rules here and we get it when we start the game. Why would it be both? And that all this does is set the rules. Choose game rules and create a new game session using search stuff like action same name. So why am I getting rules in other places? Service stuff but why? So there's this. What does a service.go get in the game session? Get new game session. What? Doesn't do anything. Alright, so we're going to do a quarter length. We're going to define a new game session. But somewhere up here we're also doing rules. Rules is just for game session creation, but I feel like, see, we got game rules here. Failed to get game rules. Why are we getting game rules if we have a new session that creates a game that does the game rules? Okay, so I think we're having a bad sort order. So during the course of a create game, we might want to get the new game session. But the question is, why do we have a get new game session that gets rules and have a create game that gets rules? It's not, that doesn't make any sense. But I do like the idea that this does not even need to be in existence. And we're going to go back here, go to definition, go to implemented. Oh, this is the definition. Okay. I don't think we need rules here. Take that out. I'm going to make this create the rules. It's passing the rules, but I think there's some we got a loss of focus here, because this is doing rules, but why? Why is this doing rules? And honestly, we don't even need this, because we know it's a new game session, so let's just get rid of this call. I don't know why it needs to exist at all. I'm going to go over here and we'll get the rules. Short time ago, so we know it exists. existing store. This, which I probably don't have. Oh wait, maybe I just need to save them up here. Okay. Declare an error because I don't have it up there anymore. It isn't a matter of saving, right? So what else do I gotta log on? Oh, that's format dead hair. Where's this one? Oh, I see. We don't actually have an error object on this. And that's supposed to be an error object. I probably should return an error object, because what if something fails? Let's do that. Let's return an error. I feel like that's probably important. So I can do this, but then I just have to go those blew up. Okay. All the way down. Oh no, so I want to click it. More. Alright, what's going on? The ask for help. Sometimes gotta go back, get some assistance. So what am I doing wrong? Oh, is that what the problem is? So what do you say? Turn 3 values. So the other value is fix this guy. What does a game session expect? Not enough return values. What are we missing? Game state? Game state. Game session. What is it missing? Like, is the problem with the show returns? Have game state one. Game state. Have game state. So we need to return an error, but what are we returning? Oh, it's initial state. Oh. Okay. No. There we go. All right. I think we're good. I know. Dude, that's easy, man. If you know anything about Go. I get it. I don't know Go perfectly. Hey, look. I solved it still. Now, I'm getting there. Things are starting to click. After 7 months. Okay, I haven't been working in Go solidly for 7 months, but probably a good 4 months of those have been doing a lot of Go. I've done a lot of Go. Those first few months are just starting to learn it, working with AI, and so not 100% yet, but we're progressing. Go figure this one out. This will probably have something to do with my new Get Game Rules session or whatever the heck I did too. Alright, new store. Alright, what is the problem with this store? Probably because it's missing a declaration. Probably get my, see what it says is the problem. Not use store. Store does not implement single store missing method get new game session. Alright, so we have, this guy up here. Oh, there's a get new game session, but it's supposed to return game state. Oh, last play game state. Oops, nope. No. Golly, there's still something. No. Still does not implement simulated. What do you mean? It does. New game session. Now has the pair method, has all the parts, but it still says it doesn't have it. That one's a little trickier. Alright, let's see what it says with my phone. Oh, I didn't put it in here. It's supposed to be in this list here. does this need to be in the store? Because it doesn't. Under what circumstance do I need this in the store? You know what? Let's get rid of this. Let's see if am I even using that? That's the thing. I think the problem wasn't that it wasn't declared correctly, it was that it was declared at all. Yeah, see, there we go. It didn't need that because I'm not using it in the store. All it did was add the rules, which was silly because the rules could just be done in the same one that was created in the service. The only reason you need to have methods and functions at all in the store is for connecting to the database. The store handles all the database connections, and all that was a rules call, the function that will go to the database to get the rules, but that's the part that needs to be in the store, not the game session creation, which doesn't do that. And if it does save a game session, that is saving the game session, which is the top one, is the one I want in the store, because that saves it to the database. But this one does not need to exist. Okay, so now let's go back up to the run game, see what the heck run game is missing. Run game has a problem with get new game session, which is coming from the store. But why? Why don't we just call this service for the store? Because get new game session is service action. Oh, so this is now returning. Get new game session is supposed to return the game session and a new game session. It doesn't need rules, but it does need and we don't need game rules because game state probably don't need it here. What's undefined? Oh. So what, now we set it and it doesn't get used. Probably not using it. Makes sense because we're not using it. It's like, here's another one. Do I need the game session? Do I need the game session? I'm trying to eliminate passing the game session around, especially when it has to go over the internet to everybody, everybody's device or website. Because the game session is for me to store information together, yes, but I'd rather just pass the information that's required. So I already have home team and away team. What do I need from this game session other than the game state? There's nothing in it. I have the game session, so what does the game session need? I got the team information, which is going to come from the game session, sure, but the game state will provide everything that goes down from there. Do I want to pass the game session? And if so, do I also have to pass a game state because this is brand new and there is no state involved with it yet? I'm thinking I may have to provide a game state. Or what does it use the game state for? Well, I guess if we're missing something, I can always add it later. For now, let's go ahead and it's not passive. I'm not asking for it. I don't know what it's going to use it for yet. If I find something I need, I'll just pull it from the game state. I will get the game state, which means the get new game session, which is up here. Put this here, so I don't need to have it. Do something like need initial state. Alright. Mark that down. What's left? Service user teams.go. What's wrong with my service here? I don't know what it is. Segmenting teams. The idea behind custom this will allow users to set the team name if problem is you start I was just thinking if I start allowing people to set it, everybody's gonna have all their names in there. They'll start popping up everywhere. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't put that in. That's why I took it out actually of the. I just need to pass in the session. stuff that like I can figure out if they have the ball with the state. I think that's what I was gonna do. But I'm not passing it into there. Which team am I grabbing here? I got whatever team it is, plus the home team and away team, game state, game team details for blah, home team. Oh, okay, so we're doing the home team. Range, boolean, true, false. Okay, so we're gonna do it for the true. And then we're gonna pass in home team, it's gonna be true or false. Ugh. So really what I need to do is do something like no, I want to be the home team. A little decompression. Oh, feels good. All right, so keep plugging away here. You gotta get it. I'm trying to get back over to Unity, honestly, but gotta make sure everything back here is compiling before I can start her back up. Obviously I missed something up there. Right. That's that one. No, where are we going here? Oh, this one just needs to take this, right? No. Game state. Alright, so this is where I was trying to figure out if I needed to have the home team ball. And honestly, do I need the home team ball? I feel like I don't. Because if I send through the team details and a game state, there we go. Dang it. So what do you think? Should I go ahead and keep talking in a silly accent? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and talk in an accent. This time around, I'm going to try and see if it's possible. So what do you think? Should I... Let's go ahead and talk in... See. What is my problem? Got to see if I can do this without the home team boolean, so I don't have to pass in extra stuff. I want this to be the game state, and if that's the case, I can just do the game state without the other stuff. But which team am I working with? Having the team details of this home team. I need the game state. That definitely needs the whole game state. This does not need the whole. But I need to know which team in the game state I'm working with. So if I'm working with the state, see, that's why I do need to know which one, because my game state might say yeah, but it doesn't care which one. Then I'd have to match it to the team details, which would work for this one. Okay, let's do that. Because then I can pass in game state here, and I can determine the home team here from that, from the game state and the game state and the team details. But I'm not passing the team details through because that doesn't need it. So that one needs a home team and game state. Nothing else here needs home team information. It's really just for the matches situation, so we know whether or not whether. We need to know if they're on offense or defense, but do we really need to know if the game state? We really need to know if the game state is the. That's the game state. Game state. If I go here and say that's the game state, then I have to get the home team set. I need to do something else. Oh, we're gonna try this. So this will be the game state. only problem is I'm trying to figure out that the game state can have the team play info assigned to it. How do I determine which one it is? From the team details. Play at home. I need to go by the team. I need to go by the team ID. I need to find the team ID matches. Oops, I don't know how to write. I don't know how to write right. I write wrong when I write right. Because I write right with an R instead of a W. Which should also have an R, but not a G and an H. Sometimes, you know, I just do stupid things. Nice if there was a way to search on it. It's kind of funky. But this will work. It's just a lot of I'm doing that wrong too. I'm doing that wrong because I don't care about whether or not he's the possessions. It's not about who has possession. We're not trying to see who's got the ball. We're trying to see who's the home team and who's the... We're trying to decide who's the home team and who's the away team. That's the wrong value. Dang, I think I'm gonna have to pass the game state. I don't want to. With the home team, because I don't think game state or team details tells you who's the home team. Neither one of you is going to tell you who the home team is. Team details is about the team in general. Game state is about the team in play progress, but it doesn't like track whether or not they are. It doesn't track whether or not they're a home team or a away team because it doesn't care. It doesn't care at all. Why did it matter to the game? So, yep, I cannot get away from this. Turkey butts. Okay, I guess I'm passing another router. I don't know what source is doing. Source has to be passed through because that's the kind of game state I'm getting. I'm getting their part place. I need to know which kind of place it is. Alright, fine. Go ahead and go with me. I'll leave that as on the team. If you need that, please, because I passed the game state in. Oh no, yeah, we do need this because we have to add on to this. Alright, so we got the game details set up by the home team. The home team is defined here. If only we knew by that. Because we know it's being set to the home team, but that's just the team details that it returns. And beyond that, there's no way of knowing. I'm not using the game session anymore. And again, that's probably for a good thing. So, alright. Let's save this puppy. Now, who's still problematic? We got the APIs looking okay. We got the coaches now looking okay. We got the players are okay at the moment. I haven't done much with it, but the simulator's okay. User account is okay. Now we just need to fix the gateway. What's the problem with my gateway? Next trade request, return. What is this missing? Create request for single for service. A lot of stuff not in here. Keep the request. Get next to the request. Oh, we don't need a lot of this. It's not going to need to pass the yardstick. We don't need it. Field position, we don't need it because it knows it. Current down, don't need it, we know it. Current quarter. Yeah, I think that's the problem. We're passing in the stuff that doesn't need to be there. We're not passing in any of that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and dump all this, but I think we do need some stuff for the request. Quarter time I can see. I don't even know how much time it is. I'm not even sure what we're doing with this, to be honest. What is this rec doing? All the simulator service, the request, why? So we're parsing it from the value sent in, but we're not sending in that. We might pass in the quarter time. going to be an int32? How do we do this? Alright, court, Mr. Know-it-all co-pilot. What's the answer here? To turn this into a string reserve. Let's get the air at the beginning. This way it'll tell me at the gate what I'm doing. Alright. I'm going to fix it. Let's fix it at the earliest point. That's my I mean, why would we want to have the value set later when we could set it correctly in the first place? Oh, good grief. So we have to turn it into a, take the string, turn the string into an int, and then turn the int into an int32. What's stupid about that? Can't we just do like, can't we just do this? Alright, let's accept this. I want to try something. There we go. So this can be converted, right? So we set it over here. We set it here, and we go here, and we just turn it into this. So why can't we just do this? Is it, oh, it's because it's returning two values. One of them which is an error, but the error can't be, because an error is a string, so we can't convert them both. Stupid. So many kinds of stupid is that. I have no choice but to accept what it's giving me. Oh. 3 lines to make one thing convert. That just feels so wrong. Fine, if we must. I don't need this anymore. No point in converting the conversion. At least to get out of my head. There we go. What else do we have? We have to get the delay of game, true or false. So we gotta do another one of these guys. And we will go delay this will work, probably not, because why not? Why would it be helpful like that? Okay, because that's what works. Alright. Hopefully it's not going to go and start sending me things like 1s and 0s, because it's not going to equal through. Gotta make sure it sends in an actual string. That's all I got. This quarter time, delay of game, and game ID. Alright, that's it. That's all we need in the request. And then we pass the request in to whatever needs it. And are we fixed? We look fixed. I think we're kind of fixed. Okay, so the gateway is now running, or compiling. Everybody looks compiling, except the public. The public is a test file that's wrong, and that's a test file. So I think we're okay, because we have to fix the test things, but they can wait for the moment. I don't need them at this time. So let's go ahead and open up this guy and run all my services again. So now we got everything running. We'll go ahead and try to run the code here, but this code's gonna have its own bunch of problems. Because I loaded it yesterday and it's got a fair number of its own problems. I'm gonna have to open that up. At some point I'm going to have to synchronize my names, because my names are all wonky. I got PFFM and FPFM, and I got and then I only have FTZ or Fantasy Football, and also Football Simulator. So all my objects are having different names for the same project. And that's because I keep migrating it, because as I think of a better one, I get closer and I decide to go ahead and add the little extra bits and pieces. But it doesn't always translate the way I hope, because now I've got things all over the place with different names. You know, there's a number of people who've set out on a journey of exploration with game creation. Not very many yet have managed to start the stream. There was a guy online who started a stream. I think it was about the same time as me. He was going to try and do his own game development, but I think he already fell off the planet. Because I was like trying to see what he's done. And he was developing it like most from the front end first, and ultimately he vanished. Let's go see if this guy exists. I'm gonna find him, see if he's still let's see if he's still out there. Because mostly I'm just curious if he's still doing his thing. I followed him, so I know I should have. How do I find my started following. Maybe I was following him on lots of stuff I've been watching. I know I've only liked. Okay, maybe it's true. I probably don't use this channel as much, but I kind of. I don't know for sure where I put it. I put it somewhere. I put it, let's go see. Nova Code, solo indicating they are hoping to go full time. Follow me. Is it this dude? How's he doing? 2 months, 1 month, 2 days ago. See, now this guy has been spending some serious time with his images, or his videos. He does good videos, he's pretty talented in that sense, and I'm kind of jealous. Let's see what he's got.
I've got some exciting news to share with you today. After 3 devlogs and months of dodging this feature, I have finally added machines and conveyor belts to my factory game. Yep, I can hear the cheers already. It's been a wild ride getting here, and trust me, I've got some very cool stuff to show you today. If you're new here, hi, this is Nova, a solo developer building a factory automation game. And this devlog is packed with features, conveyor belts, machines, building system upgrades, a dismantling feature that I should have added ages ago, and a little teaser about the chaos I've accidentally unleashed. So stick around, because you're not gonna want to miss what's coming up. Alright, first up.
Let's see, I'm gonna check this guy out, but I'm curious about
it's about time. After all this time dodging this feature like it's a dentist appointment, it's finally here.
He's got his own thing. And the thing is, I should probably spend more time doing videos.
But super flexible.
It takes so long to do though. But look how many people he's got. He only had,
and you can send items.
he's up to 5,000 viewers. That's pretty impressive. Because I think when he started, just a few months ago, he only had like,
you get the point.
He had less
but
than
before I could even get conveyors working, there was one small problem. Items. Because what exactly were these conveyors supposed to be moving? Up until now, everything in the game has existed as an inventory item, just numbers in a menu. But for a conveyor belt to actually function, I needed physical items in the world that you can pick up, drop, and most importantly, watch as they move along the conveyor. So I made a super simple item system. Nothing fancy, just objects with basic physics and a bit of gravity. If you drop an item, it falls to the ground. If you pick it up, it disappears into your inventory. And if you throw it, well, it just kind of exists there until something interacts with it. But now that items physically exist, conveyors can actually do their job. Which brings me back to how the conveyors work. Each conveyor has a single slot inventory that holds the item it's moving. It uses a raycast in the direction it's facing, and if it detects an empty conveyor ahead, it passes the item along. That's how they keep things flowing from one to the next. And here's the fun part. If you drop any item into the conveyor, it gets detected automatically and starts cruising along. But before talking about the other features of the conveyor, let's talk about machines. Because, well, what's the point of having a perfectly functioning conveyor system if it's just endlessly passing items around like some kind of a race? We need a reason to move these items along the conveyor. And that's where machines come in. Each machine follows a set of recipes, and I set up a scriptable object to hold all the recipe data. This thing is basically the machine's cookbook. It keeps track of all the required inputs and outputs for every single process. But here's where things get interesting. Outputs aren't always guaranteed. Some recipes have random output chances, and I'm mainly using this for two things. First, residuals. Something like slag or nuclear waste. Whenever you're processing raw materials, there is a chance you'll end up with byproducts, which would be used for all sorts of other stuff or recycled. But I don't know yet what kind of recycling system I want. Should it be something like a science pack, where every item has a value and once you reach a certain threshold, you get a useful reward or tech? Or should it be more like satisfactory, where using the recycler just unlocks cosmetics and fun stuff? I honestly can't decide, so definitely let me know down in the comments which system you think would be cooler. That said, the second use of random outputs is something I think would be really cool, an optional upgrade that adds a chance to double the output of a recipe. So instead of always getting a predictable 60 items per minute, you might get lucky and squeeze out more materials from the same process. Sounds amazing, right? Well, there's a catch, because this isn't a guaranteed boost. It makes your setup inherently inefficient. If you love perfectly balanced production lines where every item flows smoothly, this upgrade will drive you insane. But if you're the kind of player who just wants more resources now and doesn't care about making things look pretty, this could be exactly what you need. In early game, when you are struggling to get materials, having a little extra output here and there can be a lifesaver. And let's be real, this feature is also perfect for the people who build absolute spaghetti conveyor systems. You know who you are. The kind of players who slap high-speed conveyors on a recipe that outputs once every solar eclipse, just because it feels right. That being said, I know some people take factory efficiency very seriously, so don't worry. This upgrade is completely optional. Your beautifully synchronized factory will remain untouched. With this setup, I can make anything from basic ore to ingot recipes to insane 6 input 3 output monstrosities. And with that said, I had to make machines. And what better option than with the most essential one? Because, let's be real, there's no factory game without a smelter. It's like making a shooter without guns. So I quickly jumped into Blender, whipped up a simple smelter model and dropped it into the game. For now, I filled it with some basic smelting recipes, turning raw ore into ingots. It's nothing fancy yet, but this little guy is the foundation of everything. Without it, you wouldn't be able to craft more advanced materials, which means no machines, no automation, no fun. So yeah, the smelter is kind of a big deal. And honestly, designing these systems feels like solving a bunch of little logic puzzles. Figuring out how inputs turn into outputs, how to balance production rates, and how to avoid breaking everything in the process. If you like that kind of problem solving tool, you should check out today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant helps you build real problem solving skills with interactive lessons in math, science, programming, and AI. Instead of just watching videos, you actually do the learning, dragging, clicking, and experimenting with concepts to build an intuitive understanding. It's way more engaging than traditional learning,
which is good.
and it's been proven to be up to 6 times more effective. A huge thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring the channel and supporting what I do. Now that machines have their recipes figured out, there is something important about outputs that you will need to consider when designing your factory.
But you
Each
got
recipe
the,
has
I
a base
mean, why
operation
not? You
time.
got the people watching.
For example,
you got 5,000
one
people
operation
watching,
every
but
2
whatever
seconds.
he did, he got
But
it
that
up to
doesn't mean you'll
5,000
only
people
get one
pretty
item
fast.
every
I
2
don't think
seconds.
he's been around
Instead,
that
it
long.
means the machine completes an operation in 2
I think
seconds.
he's been around
You could
about
have
as
a
long
machine
as
that
me. He's
spits
just
out
doing way
2
better at
ingots
just
every 2
building his
seconds,
channel.
which still results in the same 60 items per minute as a machine that produces 1 item per second. And the output could be any defined number.
He's
But here's
finally
where
a real
things get
YouTuber.
tricky. Your
He's got his
conveyors need to be
sponsor.
able to keep up. Every conveyor tier has a limit on how many items it can hold at a time. Let's say you are using a basic conveyor that can only carry 1 item at a time. If your machine outputs 2 items every 2 seconds, the conveyor won't be able to handle both at once. Instead, it will take 1 item, move it forward, then come back for the second one.
People are
Meaning
all
you're
getting
losing
engaged.
efficiency.
Ah, I'm
The
so
machine
jealous.
is ready
He's
to
got
output
engaged
both items
people.
instantly,
What
but
the
the
kinda-
conveyor is
I got
slowing
to
it
do that
down
for
because it has to
videos.
move them 1 at a time.
Ugh.
So when you're designing your factory, you will need to think about how fast your machines produce items and whether your conveyors can keep up. If you don't match them correctly, you might end up with bottlenecks, wasted time, and machines just sitting there waiting for the conveyor to catch up. Speaking of bottlenecks, after the last devlog, I got a ton of feedback on the building system, and honestly, it gave me a lot of inspiration. A lot of you suggested removing the grid restriction, and allowing buildings to be placed freely whenever you look. And yeah, I completely agree. A grid system has its place, but it's way more suited for voxel style games like Minecraft or Foundry. In a factory automation game like this, there's really no reason to force players into a grid placement system. So I did exactly that. Now, the player can toggle between free build and grid modes, and both modes also allow snapping. That means if you prefer to build on the grid but happen to aim at a building that's off the grid, it will automatically snap to align with that building. And the same thing applies in free mode. I also heard your feedback about the visuals of the buildings themselves. And while I agree they could use improvement, I really want to focus on making the mechanics fun first before diving deep into the visuals. But I couldn't help myself. I wanted to experiment a little, especially since visuals are my weak point. So I reworked my preview shader to now include animated previews and the dissolve effect, making it feel much more responsive and polished. That leads me to the building animation itself. Now, whenever you place a
So he's
building,
trying-
it rotates and
he's
scales
trying
up
to get
into
his
existence
images
with a very
together too,
satisfying
so-
animation. And I have to admit, I think it's just as cool as the multi-build mode, but combining both, that was just way too much fun to play around with. And lastly, I finally added a dismantling system. No idea why I waited so long, but now it works exactly like the building system, with 2 modes, single dismantle and multi-dismantle. And just like building, you can click once to start, click again to define an area, and
He's
everything
got
in
cool
between
features.
gets
Look at
removed.
the way they spin
Super
out of-
simple,
out of
super
existence.
effective. Let me know what you think of the system so far. Your feedback has been really valuable, and as you can see,
Gosh, how do
I'm
you
definitely
figure this
listening.
stuff out?
Okay, so all this sounds
'Cause
awesome,
I'm trying
right?
to do something
Free
kind of cool
building,
like that with
snapping,
my cards.
smooth animations.
When my cards
It's all
come
feeling
up,
really good.
I like
but
them to do
here's the thing about
spin
big
or
games.
focus.
They
Right
have
now
this
it's just
nasty
clicking
little
it, yeah.
problem where every single mechanic is connected to a bunch of others. Nothing exists in isolation. You tweak one system, and suddenly
is he
other
doing?
systems is on fire in the background. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. After upgrading the building system, I was feeling great. Then, after a bit of testing, I realized something horrible. The conveyor belts don't work anymore. See, back when everything was on a grid, you could always connect them and properly make a clean pass to another machine. But now that buildings can be anywhere in the world, the current grid-based conveyor system completely falls apart. And that leaves me with 2 painful choices. First, I could scrap the new building system and go back to the old grid-based system. But let's be honest, that would suck. The new system is so much better. It's smoother, more flexible, and honestly, I don't think I could bring myself to throw it away. And judging by your feedback, neither could you. The second option, curved conveyors. Basically, doing what Satisfactory does. Allowing conveyors to bend and curve freely so they can connect between buildings no matter where they are placed. Which sounds amazing if I can make it work. But the problem is, I have no idea how to make it work. And even if I did, it would take so much time. It's a massive overhaul and I've been avoiding it for a reason. Everything I have done so far with conveyors has been grid-based, and moving to a completely free-form curved system means throwing out a ton of existing logic and coming up with a whole new way to handle item transportation. So yeah, I've backed myself into a corner. Either I throw away the new building system, or I take on a huge challenge I wasn't ready for. And honestly, I think you already know which one I'm gonna choose. So that's where I'm at right now. Conveyor belts are moving, the building system is smoother than ever, and I'm psyching myself up for the curved conveyor challenge. It's gonna be a pain, but honestly, I'm kinda excited for it. I'm really pleased with the progress on this one, and I hope you are too. If you have any suggestions or just want to ask something, you can drop a comment or join my Discord.
How long
I'm
are
trying
his
to be
videos?
as
He
active
does
there
like
as
a
possible.
10-minute
And
video.
hey, if you want to go the extra
Guess it ain't
mile and
that
support
long.
what I do, you can also check out my Patreon. It really helps me keep making these videos. Yeah, and one more thing. My last video, yeah, it basically disappeared into the void. because YouTube algorithm, that's why. So if you like this one, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Catch you in the next devlog.
Good job, dude. I'm impressed. So much better at this YouTube thing than I am. You started your journey about the same time as me, and too. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change this. Nova code uploaded. Making game dev logs might destroy your dream game. Really? When did he do that one? I'm going to have to look at that. He just put these up. Alright, I got to go here. Let's go ahead.
Devlogs are ruining indie games. Yeah, I said it. And honestly, there's a good chance it could ruin yours too. But before you sprint to the comments, I'm not saying devlogs are evil or that you shouldn't make them. I mean, I make them myself. All I'm saying is most people are doing them completely wrong, and it's quietly destroying their projects before they even realize it. Have you ever wondered why so many awesome looking devlogs just vanish after a few videos? It's not because the developers are lazy, it's not because the game was a scam, and it's definitely not because they just lost interest. Most of the time, it's because the devlog itself, the thing that was supposed to help, became a trap. A trap that turns your dream project into content first, and the game second. And once that happens, it's almost impossible to come back from it. Honestly, it almost ruined my own game journey too. That's a big part of why I'm making this video. Not just for you, but as a reminder for myself. Because it's way too easy to fall into this without even realizing it. So today I'm going to break down exactly how it happens, why it's way more common than you think, and what you can do to actually make devlogs without nuking your project in the process. So, if devlogs are this dangerous, why do we even bother making them? Well, because when they are done right, devlogs can actually be one of the smartest moves you ever make for your game. Unless you're some kind of marketing genius, which, spoiler alert, I'm not, getting people to actually find your game is one of the hardest parts of indie dev.
Yes.
Devlogs can quietly build hype, build trust, and get people rooting for your project way before it's even done. When you put your progress out there, you're basically getting free playtesters, fresh perspectives, and ideas you might have missed. I've had people point out problems in my systems that I never would have even caught on my own, and sometimes even suggest solutions that ended up making the game way better. And speaking of people, when you know people are waiting to see what you're building, it pushes you to actually keep going, even when the motivation dips. Some of my best bursts of progress came right after I posted a devlog and felt the wave of energy from people getting excited with me. I mean, imagine trying to make a big game, working on it for years, just to drop your finally finished game into the world, with nobody even knowing it exists. Pretty brutal, right? When I started making my factory game, I was so excited. I finally felt like I was doing the thing I had wanted to do for years. For the longest time, I kept putting off game development, always finding some excuse, telling myself it wasn't the right time, or that I wasn't ready yet.
Alrighty. Where was I? I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to this guy, and then I'm going to change my user, because I want to reply to him as my thing. I know that this guy, he's got the thing, and this is exactly true. This is what I'm afraid of, what he's saying in this video.
Devlogs are ruining indie games.
Okay,
yeah,
so what he says
honestly,
in this video
there's
makes
a good
a lot
chance
of
it could ruin
sense.
yours too.
You spend a lot of time working on the video to talk about your game, and you're trying to build up people. He started this 5 months ago, which actually is I started and I had 0 people. I don't know how many he had when he started, but he started this process. Look at this. He's gone up 1,000 views, or oh no, I guess not viewers, or subscribers. I just gave him a couple more because I subscribed with my 2 accounts. But you are killing it. You started your quest, your game dev quest about a month after me. And you have gained about 5,000, about 5.5 thousand more subscribers than I have. So I bow down to you. I don't bow down to him, Lord. I'm just, it's figurative. I'm just impressed by his work. Of course, I don't really bow down to him, and I'm sure he knows this too. I stream most of my bedtime, but I just don't sing. But that is boring to watch. I know it. But I feel like creating progress logs, such as you have, takes away from my work, just like video says. I need to find a happy medium because again, like he said, it was to finish this game and know this game and know who know. No one. No. It exists. Keep my good luck, and I hope the game completes all your hard work pays off. So yeah, this guy's doing pretty good. I'm impressed. I don't know how he does it, but what I got to do is more videos that actually call out. I don't know how to improve. This guy, he spent some time on these, right? Because he shows little clips of his videos and he shows the different things going on, and he's making, they're entertaining. And even though they're only 8 to 10 minutes long.
But before you sprint to the comments, I'm not saying devlogs are evil or that you shouldn't make them. I make them myself. All I'm saying for years, just to drop your final finished game into the world was the thing I always wanted to make. And somehow, that devlog didn't just inspire me to keep going, it ended up inspiring other people too. Hearing that something I made helped someone else take his first step on their own project, that was surreal. It gave me even more motivation to keep chasing that impossible dream.
And these people comment.
So, if
That's another
all
thing.
these
How do you
benefits,
get comments?
why am I saying they are
don't get
secretly
no
dangerous?
comments. I have regular
just because
people
something
who
starts
watch
off
every now and
great
then. Of
doesn't
my
mean it will
17
always stay
people, I
that
got
way.
like 3.
The same devlog that gave
But
me all this
they
motivation
don't
to keep
ever
going
leave
is the
comments.
very thing that made me question
mean,
if I should
they'll
even
chat
continue
with
at all.
me, but
And
they
honestly,
don't-
I'm glad I
they
caught
don't
myself
leave
before it was
comments.
too late. Because when I took a closer look, I realized this pattern happens in so many devlogs I used to watch. Starting with huge plans, full of promise, and then poof, they disappear into the void. So what's the thing I'm talking about? If you're making a game, then you should already know that it's tough. It's fun at first, full of excitement and new ideas, but then reality hits. Bugs start piling up, systems get more complicated than you expected, and you start questioning if it's even worth it. Then you add devlogs into the mix. The pressure to constantly produce something just to keep your devlog alive can hit hard, especially if you're just beginning and don't have enough skills. For me personally, I felt like I had to post at least one devlog every month, and that's not even counting the time it takes to actually develop the game. So basically, I had 1 month to develop content and make a video showing the progress. And that's pretty brutal, especially for someone like myself who doesn't have the required skills to even make a simple game. And speaking of trying to get better and improving your skills, I want to give a huge shout out to Brilliant, who's actually sponsoring this video.
Yeah, he's kinda,
Brilliant
like,
helps
really
you
in
get
my-
smarter every day. Click the link in the description. You will also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Now, back to the video. Everything begins when you make your first devlog. You start feeling like you have to keep showing progress. You think to yourself, I can't leave people hanging, or I need to make sure I'm giving them something new every week. But here's the problem. You are not making the game for you anymore. You are making it for the content. And that's a dangerous shift. And here's where the trap gets worse. You start prioritizing the devlog over the actual game development, spending more time on flashy updates than actually fixing the core gameplay. And before you even know it, the game that you were passionate about starts feeling like a chore. Just something to produce views, likes, and comments. This cycle leads to cutting corners, and while testing mechanics is one of the most important factors for making your game fun, you skip over testing or you rush through parts just to have something to show, resulting in a game that isn't as polished or fun as it could be. And when that happens, it's not long before you burn out. But what happens next? Should you stop making devlogs altogether? Alright, that sounded pretty depressing, but don't worry, this isn't where your story has to end. You shouldn't stop making devlogs. However, you shouldn't make too much to be successful. In fact, there are successful indie games that were made without the pressure of devlogs at all. Take Balatro for example, a game that blew up in the indie scene. Its creator, Local Thunk, never released a single devlog before the game came out. In fact, very few people even know about it. When the developer was asked how they managed to avoid burnout while working on a game for such a long time, the response was eye-opening. It's important to know if you want to make a game, or if you want a game to have been made by you. Learn to enjoy the game creation process more than anything else. And honestly, that's the best advice I've ever seen. It's not about the content, the updates, or the devlogs. It's about enjoying the process and focusing on the game itself, the thing you actually want to create. When you learn to love the journey, the game becomes the reward, not the devlog or the views. That's a mindset I wish I had from the start, and I'm glad I figured it out before it was too late. Because burnout doesn't just happen because of how much work you are doing. It also happens when you forget why you even started in the first place. The solution to all of these questions were actually really simple, even though it took me way too long to realize it. You don't need to crank out a devlog every month. You don't need to post just because it's been a while. The devlog should happen when you actually have something you're excited to share, whether that takes days, weeks, or even several months. When you flip the relationship like that, everything changes. The devlog becomes a celebration of your progress, not a deadline you're constantly sprinting towards. If you're excited to show what you've built, that's the best sign that it's the right time to make a devlog. Not the calendar, not YouTube algorithm, your excitement. That's why I decided to do just that with my devlogs. Which unfortunately means they won't be as often, but when they do drop, they will actually matter. I think that's way more exciting. I'd rather show you something I'm proud of, instead of throwing together a video just because it's been a month. And if you're making your own game, I hope you'll give yourself that freedom too. Another thing that helped me a ton, and maybe I'm a little biased because I just did this, is making mini games. And instead of taking a full break from game dev, which honestly can make it even harder to come back, I started opening up fresh new projects. No giant pyramid of scripts, no piles of half-finished assets, just a clean slate. And when I say mini games, I don't just mean a small game. I mean something simple and fun you can knock out in a week or two. You're still building skills, still staying sharp, but without all the massive pressure of your main project breathing down your neck. Sometimes you even end up testing out mechanics you have been wanting to try. things you couldn't fit in your main game. And every mini game you finish levels you up as a developer way faster than just grinding away on a huge project forever. So if you're feeling that pressure building up, if your game is starting to feel more like content than passion, take a step back and remember why you started. Create at your own pace, make stuff you're excited about, and when it's time to share it, you'll feel it. Trust me.
I'm impressed. The guy's got the good point. And it's kind of like what I was feeling about it, you know, because I don't like the distraction. I like the work. I like the creativity that comes with creating my application. It's fun to focus on the code, making things come together, making things work, and generate new things. And even though I spent times like last week where I did very little on the front end, I was able to go through and get the nice engine feeling, everything starting to connect and plug everything in place. And you know, it's a lot of debugging, which is no fun, but at the same time, you got to get everything ironed out. But then it's the excitement of, oh, here I come. I've got all this stuff plugged in. I'm almost ready to hit go. And it probably won't work the first try because that's how code works. But I should be able to step through then at that point and find out where is the flaw, because I know all these things exist, and I'll iron out those bits and pieces. And before you know it, hopefully I'll have data. Now, one of the things I have to do on the front end still is when I'm in my code, you'll notice I did a setup on my code that actually generates, oh, I'm sorry, no, I have to go into my plays. So this is my simulator, and I have these teams, and each team has all of the players, 11 players, or 22, which is silly. I've decided I'm going to actually make a prefab that actually generates individual objects, and then on the fly, it'll generate in all the players as we need them. Because sometimes you need a player for this or that. They come on the field, they go off the field, because I'm really going for a maximum amount of realism. This is why I'm thinking I'm dropping down from possibly from a high detailed, really, really complex models and meshes, because that not only requires a whole bunch of time, but it's going to be a lot of resources. So my idea is to bring it down, to bring the quality down. Not quality, let's just say the color and the color depth. So it's not going to be Madden level complexity as far as the visuals go, but it's going to be very nice in that it'll run smoothly, hopefully, and do what I need it to do. This way I can have guys running on and off the field and doing whatever they're doing to try to make the game feel like an actual real-life game that you're watching. Now, yeah, some things have to kind of move a little quicker. Maybe I'll have guys go a little faster when it's between plays, or I'll have different types of things that happen. Now, I recently started a game that I thought was kind of interesting. And it's another sim game that does a lot of management. It's a management game. And it has the same problem all sim games do. They don't have good games. The games are terrible. They're just, this one uses a line and it shows the color of the blue for one team and the other team is whatever color that goes the other way, and that's all it is. And that's all you get for the whole game. You just kind of go back and forth, and then if there's no room on the bottom, it jumps and does it on the top, and then it comes back down, and it just kind of it's not really all that fun to watch. I mean, there's a little anticipation as you see, am I going to go forward? Am I going to go forward? Oh, no. And I only played the one game, and it was my first game, and I was terrible, so my team went, and the other team would just push it down. I think I lost like 64-10 or some goofy thing like that. But it wasn't so much the loss that killed me. I'm not out. I might even play it some more, because it's got some interesting aspects to it. Some things I'm kind of building into my game, some things not so much. In some places it goes down. I mean, it's a college-based game, so you're doing a lot of recruiting where you're trying to go out to get the players to come and play for your team. And again, I only did 1 week, one game. I haven't done much else. I could go back in and do it again. And I like the premise, though, that you got the days. And each day something happens. So you really do have a whole week to go through, but you're not really going through a week. The only drawback to this is that, again, this game is a solo game, which is fine, but I want my game, if possible, to be allowed to go against other people. And you have a game that has leagues in it, and you have other people in the leagues. You can't have everybody running at different points. You know, you can't. you can't have your team doing things out of sync with the other teams. So what I might have to do is something that's kind of like game day is game day. Everybody's games run on the same day, so we'd always run like every 3 days or every 5 days or every 7 days or whatever. And then everything else you do throughout the week is legitimate opportunity to increase your team, better your players, whatever. But you don't have to worry about playing other people in your league. Now there are other ways to get player skills, and maybe you can play. You have so much time for your league. I like the way that they have some stuff, but they only allow you to improve certain players. So you like, for example, you have these 5 or 6 different things to focus on, but you're only allowed to focus on like either one group of players or on a single player. I think it's because one of the skills will boost anything. So it doesn't matter, but you only put one player in there. I guess as you get further along, you might be able to do 2 or 3 and get some other boosts. All these things are interesting because some players on that one have like, it tells you kind of what their chance of success at training is. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I wasn't thinking of doing something like that. And I don't want to, and as I look through all these different games that do all these different parts, and I like this, and I like that, and I like this, and I like that. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate that. But there's something about all of them, that, and you try to build the game that does what you want to do the best, and hopefully your solution is one that's more liked. But maybe there's something I hated in somebody's game that other people like, and then they're going to go, why don't you have this? And it's because I hate it. And they're like, but that's like the cool part. And I'm like, no, it's cool to you. I'm hoping other people like me think that's maybe not so cool. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky to kind of try to balance out all the possible features because there's so many games that try to play these games. One of the things I do like about it though is it doesn't have I played 1 week out of a game that could be like years worth of games. Not years like takes you years. Like if you want to sit on the chair and play through, you could probably play through a month or 2 or 3 months in a day, So you could go through a lot in a day, but I'm just saying. And then there's only 4 months in a season, or five maybe even 5 months in a season. So you don't have to worry too much about running out of things to do. And then you just skip through. And I don't know how college doesn't do drafts, right? So at the end of a season, you scout, I guess. I don't know. Off-season practices. I don't know what you're doing. But it's very much designed that you will be unsuccessful the first season. Or at least, okay, and here's the thing that I do in these games a lot. It recommends, if you've never played this before, choose this option. And so what do? I, of course, choose the other option. And of course, those teams are really good, and they kick the snot out of me. So that's okay. I don't mind losing. I just need to figure it out. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not a huge college football fan, so the game actually does pretty good if it's getting my interest up, right? If it can get my interest up. So, yeah, this guy, this is actually really good. And I'm impressed because, like I said, he started his journey, what did it say, 5 months ago? I think he started, I feel like it was longer, but I could be wrong. But he's trying to do at least 1 log a month, and I don't do them that long. So a log what I mean by that is actually a formatted, like I did these four videos. But they're all very basic, and we're talking 2 minutes, and all these were for my Indiegogo campaign, which, by the way, I'm going to launch soon, I expect. But it probably won't do very well because I've only got 17 followers here and only like 1 person following my Indiegogo, so it's probably not going to do good. But, keep trying. I'll try it 2nd time, and then a 3rd time, and then a 4th time. We'll just keep going until one of these times it does okay. Assuming, of course, I can get anybody to come over and join the journey with me. So anyhow, there we go. Let's go ahead and close this off. I got 20 minutes left on this particular stream. And then I got to go do some home chores. And then I will come back and try again this afternoon, maybe, if I don't decide to stop and play pickleball. Got to keep keep the brain fresh and don't get yourself burned out. Let's go back over here and try to see what the current bug counts are. According to this, I only have 3 bugs. I don't know how correct that is. Let's see how correct it is. It's probably gonna have more than 3 bugs. Yes, I thought it was something like that. I knew I was in the 20s. I don't know why it was only showing me 26. But, I was cleaning up some. I had it up into the 50s or something at one point, so it was pretty bad for a moment there. So, okay, so we have to go. Why is that card button? This is not there. And the play info's problem is the diaper names Displayable cannot be found. I guess it's more of an importance of what the heck is play info trying to get. Play info. What is play info getting? So I know what data I'm supposed to be having in there. Setup. Why is that? Oh, play info is the type. Play data is the thing. So play is got the play name, and what else is it? I mean, I can call this play just to line it up correctly, but oh no, nope. Oh, gosh, what the heck? Oh, I see what happened. Never mind. Play. I know it's still wrong, but play data. It's looking for where else we got. All right, so this is the only thing it has here, and it's looking for the name of the play. That's pretty minor. The available plays. My available plays object is going to get the name. So let's go to my playbook. That also has a play info. It's a play definition. I think that's supposed to be coming from the play definition object. Play definition should be part of the playbook. Unless I'm using a plays object, which I am not. So, I have a play definition. Honestly, I think the playbook could just have its own play definition because the playbook and the plays themselves are all part of the same class or the same service. So having a play definition class is kind of silly when I think about it. Let's just take this out. I only have one object in there. We're going to get rid of this because it's just too much. And then we're going to go here. And we will put the play definition in the playbook because that makes sense. And we'll put it in the play response also. Okay, then we can get rid of this file, clean up on aisle 2. Alright, so it's the play definition that we're trying to connect to here. So we will go to this guy, find the play information, and we're going to say play, private play. Play definition. It's kind of interesting though. Why am I creating? So we got this play definition. But if I'm setting it here in the setup, when I call the setup, do I really need to have this? Is it being used? And this is going to be play name. I still don't know why I'm using the formation. What am I getting the formation for? The formation coming from the play definition is... But that's for the playbooks. I guess I could use it for filtering. Yeah, for filtering. Okay. What is your problem? Your problem is that you don't have that on it. That is easy one. Sometimes they get easy. Okay. Does not contain game session does not contain a definition for themes and no accessible extension methods for themes. Game session creates. There is no get started. Game started. Maybe session. Oh, I see what's going on here. That's session home theme. Dot game mascot. Dot away theme. Dot game mascot. There we go. We're down to 20 years. Not be found. Team play info. We definitely have to fix the team play info. And this fixed speed controller does not contain a get start, set target position. These are all kind of weird. I've got lots of things to fix there. Run game, on ball placed, on huddle. These are all just like events that I'm not sure how I'm using them yet. This is so private voids. It's the async, and then this one has to be await. Kido got rid of one of the warnings. We will continue to slowly but surely pin these down. Find first. Really needs to stop using the deprecated stuff. I don't know why it does that. Alright, play system. I don't know what the play system is. Don't know what play system is. Play system is what exactly? Listen to a play system events, and I don't have these things. I don't know what those are supposed to be. I think that's part of the AI created stuff to make my stuff work, but I don't think I've actually gotten around to creating them. Now play progress log on the other hand should exist. And there's the team play info. Game state play progress log. Did I not create a play progress log? It's the wrong game. I may not. I have a game state, but no progress log. And I do need the play progress log because that's like the most important part of my game, to be honest. That's like everything that is the simulation. It's not the most important part, but it's the piece that's going to allow for my simulation to work at all. Because my simulation is not going to work very well without that. So it's got all the information the UI is going to need to know what to render. ng playbook players run team data. Don't even know what that is. Does that? If that have nothing in it, let's get rid of that. Clean up on aisle 2. User team. Run game. So I got to do the play progress log. I'm gonna have to copy that in. And it's a pretty big file, but it's got a lot going on, so I need to have it. I don't know that I need everything that is in the play progress log, but I do need a lot of it. I want all the UI elements, the things that would of course be needed to actually fire this thing off. Game rules, progress log entry, play progress log. I don't know why. I still don't understand why I said DB on this. Is that because what? What was I thinking? It's the only place where I put DB on the end. I probably thought I was going to start using it to mark which items are actually database objects, you know, things that would exist in the database. But the game state exists in the database, the game session exists in the database. So why am I calling this play progress log DB? I don't know. I think that's just, I'm getting rid of that. There's only a few places where I actually call it that. So, whoops. Whoa, hey, what did I just do? What did I just click on? Holy free, what the heck is that? I don't know what I did. Oh, stop it. What did I do? Okay, I'm so confused. What is this? What is this thing? What did I click on? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's some kind of change check test. Kidoki? Don't know what I did, but I clicked on something. Oh, go away! Oh, God. I don't know what the heck is going on. Oh, golly. Things just bouncing. Oh, no! GG. Oh, no, I don't know. What is happening, man? I don't understand. All right, play progress logo. I'm not sure what the... Oh, it's probably because what's the problem? I don't understand why you're complaining. It's not DB, so it doesn't care that it's called a DB anywhere. There wasn't that many things that actually affected the word, you know, like forlookins. Save, okay. So everything is good. Except it's complaining about something. Paperwork wraps the port above paperwork log type and adds additional functionality. Does it? I don't see additional functionality. Play the hardware generate play progress log. Oh, play progress log. This is like a special thing. Perhaps the pro above play progress log type and adds additional. What would this be? Play progress log. We will do this. That's too long of a word. Let's just go MGR. Manager. Because I don't like long words. Like what? No, I don't. I don't like them. They're ugly. Why would the play progress log have a play progress log in it? That don't make any sense. I don't know where it's putting this extra stuff. I'm trying to figure out how this works. So if we're going that way, how does that work? I think I'm going to have to figure this out on the offline because I got to go do something for an hour or so. I'll be back shortly.